Now trying to extend the opening possession. Hits his back foot, bounces in the pocket, and spins one to the sideline. That's caught inside the 15 for a new set of downs for the Chargers. KL.
Herbert's throwing it. Steps up for the end zone. Touchdown, Quentin Johnston. The flag is down, and the Chiefs are pointing in the direction of the Chargers. And it's a Kurt Warner Rams jersey here. Here comes Herbert over the middle to a wide open Will Dissly. Tyler Conklin actually caught it, and he fumbled it. And there's flags down now, 3 of them. All sorts of holy heck breaking loose right here. Spagnuolo's defense, you saw him looking on, giving up 7 first downs, and Herbert's throwing again. All kinds of time. And another wide open receiver. It's Conklin again, bringing it inside the red zone on a gain of 17, Kurt. Herbert's throwing. Lots of time. Wide open lad, McConkey. McConkey pirouettes, gets a couple extra yards as he gets down close to the 30. Trent McDuffie on the stop, gain of 23. Play fake to Hampton. Herbert from the L of the NFL Shield finds McConkey. Nice sliding catch inside the 30. And the Chargers from inside the red zone of the Kansas City Chiefs. Herbert for the end zone. There's Keenan Allen. Touchdown. Los Angeles Chargers. Herbert's throwing. Fading back over the middle. Johnston. Touchdown Chargers. Flag is down late after the play. And they are going to throw it. And it's Herbert to his right with a wide open lane, and he picks it up and slides down inbounds. What a night for Justin Herbert.
Herbert over the middle, and it's McConkey who's caught both of his completions so far. Found a little space there out near midfield.
It's such a great adjustment.
Play clock at 3. And little disruption on the right side. There's a flag out. Clearly, Max Crosby causing some duress there coming off the left side. Raiders bring pressure. Herbert steps up. On the move, scans end zone, a dart. Keenan Allen working his way in the back line, grabs it, and the Chargers jump on top. In less than a yard, it's noisy, and fighting through, breaking tackles, Hampton still running, the rookie. Well, he keeps mentioning the future gold jacket. He talks about Mac almost with awe. Herbert launches downfield. It's Johnson in stride. Touchdown, Chargers. 60 yards. 2nd and 11. They back out and play coverage. Herbert with a long throw in the sidelines. Reaching back to make the grab is the rookie Trey Harris.
Trying to draw him off sides.
Play action. Herbert down the middle. Caught. First down and much more. Keenan Allen.
Having your first 3 games as divisional opponents, but so far the Chargers 2-0 in those first 2 matchups.
Lunch to Hampton at the 2, and here he goes, and smacked as he takes it up by J.L. Skinner. They need the Bronco 45. Pipkins will block at the right tackle, and they get the first down. And Johnston breaks free, and there he goes. Can Afunga get him? Chased by Surtain and out of bounds. Near the 13. On this 2nd down and 6, and he's caught him downfield. Caught there, catched him again.
Because they can dictate in terms of pressure and those kinds of things, but he loves calling things on 1st and 2nd down.
There's a 2nd down. Got away from Tillman. And caught! What a grab! Flag thrown! Johnston inside the 5. Johnston on the move. Hampton gets the call. Touchdown with ease. And the Chargers build on their lead. on a 3-yard touchdown run by the rookie Hampton. His first NFL touchdown.
The Broncos, you look at it the other way. If the Chargers get the win, now all of a sudden it's really almost like a 2-game lead, having beat every team in the division. Nobody's out there.
Second down and 7. Here he goes. Galloping free inside the 25. Second down and 6. Herbert to the air. Pipkins the block at the right tackle. Got away from Allen. Herbert alive in the throw. Caught. Touchdown! Touchdown! Allen! What a play!
Of what Bowen wants to do, make him hang on to the ball so they can collapse that pocket.
Third down 18. They give Thibodeau a sack. Here goes Herbert, and he can run well. And he's got to get to the 45, and he's got the first down. And then ushered out of bounds by Holland and others in that secondary first down run.
Now it's sustaining it for the whole season.
Herbert on 1st and 10. He gets a block from Deculus. Downfield, caught 5, touchdown. Johnston works on Belton. And Banks. 36-yard touchdown pass. And the Chargers are back in business. And they also lost Becton, who was a starting guard. Here is a 3rd and 1. Digging, turning, Hampton driving, backpedaling. They cannot bring him down. Look at this run. Wow. First down run.
He had 5, and it didn't matter how good you are. Turnovers will come back to haunt you.
1st and 10. And the run here and the galloping move. And look at the run by the rookie Hampton. He'll take it in for the touchdown. What a sprint. 54 yards.
They weren't overlooking the Giants all week long.
2-point try. Herbert will take it himself. Digging. Penetrates. Got it. 2-point attempt up and in. And it's a 3-point game. Hampton right here, blocked by Gadsden, block ahead as well by Johnson. There he goes, galloping again for a first down. Brought down by Akarike. 2 sacks, 21 quarterback pressure, 2nd down and 10 for Herbert. No timeouts, winding up and going long, and he's got Johnston at the 40. Grabbed by Flott, brought down there. They can't stop the clock, it ticks away, and the Giants have won their first game of the season.
3rd and short. Blitz coming. Herbert senses, runs. Herbert first down. Still on his feet. Justin Herbert. Foot race. And he's upended inside the 30. On the fake. Herbert throwing. End zone caught for the touchdown. It's McConkey.
Yeah, this is more of a man coverage play again. Had the heart of a lion, and this little lad McConkey reminds me so much of Wes Welker.
Herbert and zone read. He's got some room to roll. Justin Herbert on a 41-yard run earlier takes this one into Commander's territory, and it's good for 18.
Haskins in at running back. And a play action on first down. Herbert looking deep. He's got McConkey wide open. And McConkey still on his feet down at the 31-yard line. A 22-yard pickup for McConkey. Herbert back to the air. Over the middle, fires a strike. And McConkey's able to hold down. Took a big shot after the catch, but McConkey
running across the field and trying to run away from leverage.
That's Gadsden on the backside of the formation.
3rd and goal. Herbert on the move. Chased by Saylor. Throws. Touchdown. Ladd McConkey. Great drive by Herbert and the Chargers, and they regain the lead. Herbert to the air. He's looking for Gadsden, and he's got him. Arande Gadsden picks up a Los Angeles first down. Douglas on the tackle.
That big offensive line again. It's like a barge up front.
3rd down and 1. Play fake. Herbert to Vidal. First down and angling for the end zone. That's a touchdown. Kamani Vidal. Pressure coming again. Herbert in trouble. Herbert keeps it alive. Completes it to McConkey, who stops at a dime. There he goes. McConkey inside the 20. How did Herbert do it?
Chargers now down by 10. Vidal on the backfield. Herbert on the move and perfectly placed. Catch made at the 40, extra yards after the grab by Gadsden. 42 yards, shotgun formation. Herbert, pump, throw. Held on, Gadsden. Lost Mike Hilton, shoulder injury, suffered week 5 against Las Vegas. Had some injuries in the preseason. Herbert out of the pocket on 2nd and 10. Downfield throw is handled on the sideline. Keenan Allen with the toe tap.
Move the ball down the field.
No Joe Alt today, no Trey Pipkins today. Step up, Herbert delivers downfield. The catch is made by Gadsden. And Gadsden, with a flag down, continues to take it downfield. The penalty marker thrown back at the 41-yard line. Herbert, fake the handoff. Dials it up. End zone, touchdown! A strike to Johnston. Fake the handoff. Herbert out of the pocket. Avoids the sack. Throws for the touchdown. A low pass is handled for the score. Rushes on. Herbert steps up. Herbert throwing on the move. Catch, turn, touchdown. Justin Herbert delivers to Gadsden.
7.5 minutes. 3rd and goal on the 14th play of this drive. To the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Gadsden.
What more can you do to help him out?
Yeah, we'll try to help on the edges. We'll try to help inside where we can, see if we can get the ball out. We've had a good chance to use some quick passing over the last few weeks. We'll see if we can do that and get some catch and runs for some of our guys.
Chargers got him in the 6th round last year. Matlock moving. Play action. Herbert just throws wide open. Gadsden inside the 40 to the 34-yard line. Whoa! At the end of the half, and they're going to get the ball again. And here goes Herbert. And Herbert again with a huge gain off the scramble to the 47-yard line, tackled by Cashman. 2nd and 10. Going for it all. Out in front. Hold in. Lad McConkey. Touchdown. Just a skosh. Herbert rolling, looking, throwing, and that's going to be caught for the touchdown by Trey Harris.
Ball spotted at the 44. Matlock comes in motion off the play fake. Herbert looking to throw. Pressure's coming. He said as he throws, pass is complete. He's got Trey Harris, the rookie, who's got great size. It'll be 2nd down and 8. A gain of a little more than 2. Vidal moves from one side to the other in the backfield. And on 2nd down, Herbert looking to throw. Stands in the pocket, zips it to the near side. Gadsden's got it along the sidelines, and he's taken down close to the 5-yard line. Amani Hooker makes the tackle. Well, the 2 tight ends on the right side off the play fake. Herbert looking to throw. Pass is complete. Matlock dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. It's his 2nd reception of the year, and this one is a score.
2nd-level linebackers to potentially stunt to try to get after Herbert again.
Bunch formation of receivers. Herbert looking to throw quickly. He's under pressure. Moves the pocket. Throws to his left. Pass is complete to his left. Keenan Allen's got a 1st down inside the 30-yard line, and he's knocked down at the 28-yard line. KJ Winston makes the tackle. Chargers go to work. Down 4. 12:04 to play here in the 1st half. Herbert goes to McConkey, and McConkey is able to stretch it across midfield and inside Titans territory.
I'm trying to single-handedly make it not cool anymore. I think it's working.
1st down. Herbert going to the end zone for Johnston. He's got it. Throw it over the top of the defender. It's a 20-yard touchdown pass from Herbert. Right before the 2-minute warning, Herbert gets a playoff. He pumps a few times. Now he runs. He hasn't run all day, but he's going to run for the 1st down and more. Inside Titans territory, out of bounds. With the
Play clock winding down. He sees something, looking for Johnston. Makes the shoulder grab, off shoulder grab. He got it. At the 1 yard line of Los Angeles, they fake the shovel pass. Herbert rolls the pocket. Now heads toward the end zone. Slides in safely. Touchdown Chargers, 26-17.
We're down to 16 seconds left. Herbert throwing inside. Touchdown McConkey. Lad McConkey's 4th of the year. The game's first touchdown. And the Chargers take advantage of the interception.
Or why are they getting so much pressure on Herbert? Because they trust Ramsey on the back end.
3rd and 6. Herbert taking off. Lot of room. First down, slides down at the 44-yard line. 3rd and 6. It's Allen's down. Herbert throws. McConkey's got it. He's gone. McConkey chased by Ramsey. 20. Stops his feet. Cuts back inside to the 13-yard line. Jalen Ramsey forced him back inside, but a 58-yard gain for Lad McConkey.
Houston come back and win that football game in the 4th quarter. Herbert fakes the pitch. Herbert going to run for it near side. He's got a Chargers first down. But he is a guy that you really want on the field, especially in 3rd and long. Herbert protected. Herbert puts a man under it, and it is caught. Boy, that's a Hall of Fame catch. Chargers can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Herbert standing in there again, now throws, it's complete. Johnston pinballs in, touchdown! Quentin Johnston with his 7th touchdown of the year. Play action. Herbert throwing, he's got a wide open Gadsden inside the 5. The rookie tight end picks up 28 yards, and it's 1st and goal for Los Angeles. McConkey in motion on 3rd and 2. Herbert looking to run. Buying time now, throws, caught, touchdown! Lad McConkey. Vidal back in the backfield on 3rd down, and Herbert is going to drop it to him. Big play. Vidal in a foot race. Zach Bond knocks him out. Second down and goal. Herbert wide open, touchdown, rookie Omarion Hampton. Welcome back. Justin Herbert got hit and then hit that left hand against his right elbow, which will show you the last time he was out there. Under center, however, and he tosses to Hampton, who bends it back and has 10+. Good start. One reason why the Eagles put a claim in on Darius Slay, who'd been released by Pittsburgh and claimed by the Bills. Herbert's in trouble. Out to his left. He's got his man. What a throw as he hits the rookie Trey Harris. How good was that throw going to his left?
That's as good as it gets.
Jordan Davis on the sideline for Philadelphia. Pressure on Herbert. Steps through. Has a ton of room. First down Chargers.
The way these defenses have been playing tonight might not be all bad to get the ball the 3rd time, so Chargers might be in a good spot.
He did it again. Herbert keeps it, and a big pickup. Trevor Penning comes in. Extra offensive lineman. First down. Handoff is to Hampton. And a big pickup. Brought down at the 40 by Blankenship. Got a good block from Trevor Penning.
Minimal wind, as we talked about. You just saw Dicker warming up. The running back is Vidal. And Herbert to the air. Here comes Jones. And the pass. Caught! Harris caught the ball at the 25 of the Chiefs. He is down.
McConkey had a punt return that he let go because he couldn't completely see it.
Vidal the back. 3rd and 3. Herbert. Here comes Karlaftis. And to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Grabbed on the play by Lambert Smith. His 2nd catch of the season, 1st career touchdown reception. Hampton the back, 2nd down 5, opening drive of the 2nd half. Matlock on the move, and play action by Herbert. Sets up. Here comes Kowalski. There goes the ball. Caught inside the 5. What a grab made Gadsden.
And that's why they say just their main focus is just trying to get the win and can't control all the other stuff.
Cellular block for Hampton, and Salyer's block opens the door, and Hampton down that sideline, whacked out of play by Tranquil, 25-yard run.
When they're 3rd and 6 plus, that's where Herbert gets hit, gives up sacks, and it's really problematic for this offense.
So these 2nd down and 7 plays are big. Shot down the field, end zone, it is held on to by Johnston for the touchdown. The Texas native with a fabulous catch for the score. When he was a high school QB. Excellent young receiver for the Giants.
They grow him a little different down there in Louisiana.
That's right. Here is Hampton. Big run for the rookie. Omarion Hampton. Just a 4-man rush this time for Dallas. Herbert's got a man down the sideline. McConkey for the touchdown. Separation for McConkey against Diggs and a dime from Justin Herbert.
And he's got an incredible opportunity to play for this organization and be a leader on that defense for a long time.
Yep. Nice run by Hampton. He powers through a tackle. He's got a 1st down. It's going to be Herbert with the push from Matlock, and he's in for the touchdown. Five guys on the line, right?
Down line, yep.
There it is. Herbert off the play fake, stepping up, climbing the pocket, taking a shot. Johnston! He held on. He is inbounds for the catch, down inside the 25 of Dallas. And the former TCU Horned Frog picks up 50.
When you've allowed him to escape.
Extra body coming for the Dallas pressure. Nearly got to Herbert. They could not contain him. And there he goes sprinting, getting a block, and down inside the Dallas 35.
But it's man-to-man coverage, so you're just going to have to hold up in man coverage.
Risk reward from the Dallas defense. Bringing pressure, but that leaves a man in Johnston. He beats Diggs and the Cowboys secondary for a big gainer and a 1st down. 2nd and goal for LA. Little shuffle off to the right. It's Hampton, and it's a touchdown. The 3rd rushing touchdown of his NFL career, and a key blow delivered by this Chargers offense.
Al Shire's back in the game. The defensive captain, Herbert, gets Hampton the ball in space. Hampton down to the 15-yard line. Herbert goes deep for Johnston. He has him. Johnston! Big time play for the Chargers, down to the Texans 14. 3rd and 14. Herbert steps up. He's going to run it. And he's got room. He takes the hit and absorbs it. Justin Herbert. Herbert keeps, rolls. Touchdown. Gadsden. Chargers. 17-9. Extra point pending. Justin Herbert from his own 25 down 10. Has time, and he's got an open McConkey. Right on cue. It's a fresh set of downs from the 35. Herbert over the middle. Gadsden has it and keeps possession. Lassiter on the stop. 3:40 to go. Down 10. 2nd and goal from the Houston 5. They're going to hand it off to Hampton. Touchdown. The rookie hits the end zone. And it's currently a 4-point game.
For them to trust him the rest of the way.
After the loss of a yard, he's in as a blocker as Herbert looks for a space and finds Lat McConkey. Little move by McConkey, and he'll go down at the 47-yard line.
They have to go attack that position because he has been the one that's been stopping them all night.
Herbert's trying to find some space. He's taking off, trying to take it in his own hands. He made a great move. Herbert jump starts the drive, knocked out of bounds at the 47-yard line.